Hello, my impatience. It is I, Andrew the Android Koloski here. I am live and I'm ready to perform for all of you. How art thou, my impatience? So it's a rainy day in New York. The rain is pouring hard. The rain is pouring. It's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring. Yeah, man. I guess I'm the old man, though I'm quite awake today. I had some coffee, so I'm quite wide awake. I don't think I'm snoring. It's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring. All right. So I want you guys to be at my beck and call. I want you to come filing in and engaging with me, quite frankly. We got Lily in the house. How art thou, Lily? She asks me how I'm doing. I'm doing all right. How are you doing? Let's open up a seltzer water here. I hope it doesn't explode. If this explodes, I blame you. Oh, shit! Okay. Let's open it up again. Great. I'm drinking raspberry lime. Somebody says, "What's your favorite seltzer flavor?" I like the vanilla flavor the most, but this should be just fine. This should be just fine. Where is that quote from? It's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring. I thought about seeing my father today, but frankly, um, you know, I think, he lives on the North Shore of Long Island, New York. I'm on the South Shore. The roads are wet. I don't drive on the parkways. It's like an hour drive to get there. I don't think I'm going to be driving to him today. So I'm probably going to be staying. I'm probably going to. Yeah, I do drive, but I don't drive on the parkways. I just do local driving around the blocks. Interestingly enough, I do some local driving. How about you, Lily? Do you? I mean, obviously you drive. I've seen you literally driving before. Lily says, "Elm, laughing my ass off. Yes, I drive." All right, cool. Yeah, we got to get together real soon, Lily. We got to get together real soon and hang out and have a fun old time. A gay old time, like they would say back in the day, but, have a gay old time. But I'm talking about a happy old time. I'm not talking about like homosexuality. We'll have a gay old time. We'll have a very gay old time, exactly. All right. So I went to the supermarket today. I got some tuna fish. I was hungry. And I'm like, damn it, my mom's not cooking me anything. And I got some stuff. So I'll share with you. I got some, tuna fish. And check this out. It's new. I don't mean to advertise Hellman's here, but spicy mayonnaise. It was pretty good. I made some tuna fish with this. Pretty good. Tuna fish with some toast. I was gonna get some like Taco Bell or like or like All American Burger, but I'm like what? Go to the supermarket, get some tuna fish or peanut butter, and my mom will make me dinner tonight. Try to do something relatively healthy here. Rusty says you should try to use the George Foreman. That might be an interesting experiment. Yeah, that too. That too. All right, so I'm going to go over some artwork I created yesterday. I never really got the opportunity to yesterday. That was a pretty epic burp, actually. That was a pretty epic burp. Here we go. Here we go! The first one, I'm going to hatch from my cocoon and become a beautiful butterfly. I'm going to be rich and famous. Watch me fly. I'm the greatest rock star ever. I'm a winner and I'm happy now. I don't know. This one's pretty pointless, but I guess it shows my desire to be rich and famous and happy. This one's interesting. I project my extreme self-consciousness onto people. What I think the cute barista is thinking. I assume she's thinking, you're a freak and I'd never talk to you. Then I think she's going to crush me like an insect. Let me contaminate his drink with spit. And she's going to try to give me HIV. But what she's really thinking, boy, work is stressful today. And she's probably thinking, let me make this handsome man his drink if she notices me at all. She's probably not thinking too much about me. I'm pretty insignificant to her. And this one, I say, I'm so hungry, somebody feed me. Is my mother a sadistic puppet master who's intentionally depriving me of food? And Dr. Natural says, no, Andrew. A baby blames its parents for his hunger because his parents feed him. Because you're a man-child. At 37 years old, it's my responsibility to feed myself. Children blame parents for their hunger. That's pretty self-explanatory too. And that could also be blaming my parents for my lack of romance, Obviously, it's my responsibility. My mom can't meet me a girlfriend, and if I don't, my mother's cooking as a favor for me. All right. Dead Cops says, I'm gonna spank your little ass. Spank your little ass. When we went to the supermarket, I called you a whore because you were wearing a miniskirt, baby. I'm gonna spank your little ass. Spank your little ass. I never wanted to hurt you, but you made me hurt you. When you spit in my eye, I wanted to die, 'cause I love you, baby. I never wanted to hurt you, but you made me hurt you. Yeah. Then we got home and went into the bedroom. Baby, I'm sorry for calling you a whore at the supermarket. But you were wearing a miniskirt. You were dressed provocatively. Now let me spank your little ass. Spank your little ass. Oh, spank your little ass. Spank your little ass. Oh, I never wanted to hurt you, but you made me hurt you. Yeah. Turn Up says, yeah. Yes, please. Turn Up, are you a lady? It seems like we got a fellow vegetable lady here. Unless it's a homosexual man. That's not as cool. I ain't into guys. That's for sure. For a while I was suffering from the lonely sailor syndrome, and Yeah, I didn't have a girlfriend or any friends in my life, and I thought maybe I was gay, but I don't think so. I think I just like ladies. I think I'm a heterosexual man, and that's. Oh, Turnip says I'm a lady. What's your age, gender, location, and name? Ooh, we got a lady in the house here. Maybe picking up some ladies from the live stream. That'd be great. That'd be great. I met Lily this way. Turnip says she's uncomfortable disclosing that information. That's fine. Just watch and enjoy. I mean, Sigma says, that burp was attractive. Yeah, it was a really good burp. The seltzer water is really producing some great burps here. Got to really hand it to the seltzer water. Maybe I still should go to my. It's like 2 p.m. and like there's nothing to do all day long. Like there's literally nothing to do. Just read a book. Sigma says, well, Sigma, are you a lady? Sigma says you can. So just go on a date with a man. I don't want to go on a date with a man. I don't like men. I mean, I like men. I mean, as friends, but I don't want to go on a date with a man. I want to go on a date with a sexy lady. I'm not into that. Man on man stuff. Somebody says it's called mingling with the. Well, I don't want to. I'm not going to say that because but yeah, I'm not into men. I'm not into the sausage. So I'll stick to the good old fashioned conservative, woman. I mean, because frankly, and call me old fashioned, but um, you know, I like the good old fashioned lady. Somebody says, "What a shame. You could go gay, Andrew." She says, "Yeah, I just went to the supermarket and I made myself some tuna fish. It was pretty delicious. Pretty delicious. I got it with some like spicy mayonnaise with red peppers in it or something like that. It was pretty good. Pretty good. I really needed something to eat, and I was like really angry. My mom wasn't cooking for me, and I got something. I went and actually purchased something and made myself a tuna fish sandwich, and it satisfied my hunger. It satisfied my hunger. Lily's asking me a question. I don't really know what that question means, so I'm not going to read it, Lily, but I appreciate you asking. Another excellent burp there. So he says, have you been to any live music shows lately? I think the last live music show I went to, and it was a small indie artist. I think her name was something Blanchard, like maybe Tara Blanchard. It was like about the objectification of, I guess, women, but you know, they were making like women objectifying men, and they were wearing socks or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what her name was, but I think that was the last concert I went to. I'm trying to think if I went to anything since then. And prior to that, I went to the Beach Boys in 2012, Bob Dylan in 2007. I don't do anything. I just sit in solitary confinement. What other? I went to Green Day in the 90s. I didn't like Green Day because it was too loud. It was hurting my ears. My father got me earplugs. I mean, I liked Green Day's music, but the concert was loud, and I was like a kid, and I'm like, I want earplugs. Oh, I went to Roger Waters Presents The Wall in 2010. I haven't been to any concerts in a while. I mean, I go to the open mic. Yeah, so the last concert I went to was like something Blanchard, and it was about like the objectification of women, but it was a woman objectifying men, and they were wearing sexy, and the men were wearing sexy socks, and kind of weird, kind of weird. Yeah, obviously it was not my choice. Well, I mean, I didn't necessarily hate it. I just went along for the ride. A bunch of people were going, so I'm like, okay, fair enough. I'll listen to this. Turnip, I think somebody Turnip asks, do you suggest we change the age of consent? You know, let's say I was to date an 18-year-old. An 18-year-old would be too young for me, probably. So I think I'm probably, if I do date somebody who's younger than me, I think 24 or 25 might even be very immature. So it doesn't affect me. It doesn't, some people even suggest I date an older woman, like a woman in her 40s and 50s who wants to take care of me. I don't think I'm going to be dating an 18-year-old. So I don't think it matters for me at least. For me at least. But yeah, 18-year-olds are very immature. They're still 18-year-olds are still very immature. I probably need somebody who's like 24 or 25 and I need like an orphan 24 or 25-year-old who's experienced a lot of pain, suffering, and trauma, and her life has been hell on earth. I need like a 24-year-old who's experienced a lot of hell on earth, basically. I mean, or you know what I mean? Like I need somebody who like grew up in the fucking orphanage, who wants to take care of like this crazy guy, and he's like, oh, he's eccentric, he's crazy. I basically need a 24-year-old lady who's hot, obviously, and petite, but she's gangsta. Somebody says, "Do you like anime and anime women?" I guess so. I mean, I like anime. I mean, anime is cool. I like Death Note. Gangsta. I need a lady who's gangsta. Basically, because I want her to cook me food and clean up after me. I don't think an 18-year-old is going to be doing that. But maybe a 24-year-old who grew up in an orphanage will. So does you want a maid, a woman that just cooks and cleans for you? Misogynist. I'm just joking. Obviously, I'm looking for true love. I'm looking for a woman who's like my best friend. But I'm like a man child who can't take care of himself, you know? So I kind of need a lady who's like my mother. I know they say no lady wants to take care of a man. Well, actually, some people say old men want to be taken care of like a baby. I don't know. Maybe that's not true. Maybe old men want to be treated like a baby. And 666 says you don't bring anything to the table, Andrew. Fair enough, 666. I've been single for years, so. Somebody says, why do you want to be treated like a baby when you're a grown man? Ivan says, why do you ignore my question? I don't see your question, Ivan. Oh, no, here we go. Somebody says, have you... Oh, now I see your question. He wants to know how much I'm packing. Let's just say about 5 or 6 inches, maybe 5 inches. I'm packing 5 inches, Ivan. Are you happy? You happy with that? A solid 5 inches. No. I've measured it. I've measured it with a ruler. I'm packing a solid 5 inches. So, bravo, Andrew. Everybody thought I was itsy bitsy. Everybody thought I was microscopic. Everybody was making fun of me for being, having a little winky, but it's not too bad. I think everybody just likes bullying me and laughing at me and mocking me. It's not as bad. I mean, I don't understand why everybody just focuses on me and wants to bully me. I mean, there's plenty of 5'5" guys who are packing 3 inches, but everybody likes to pick on me for some reason and bully me for some reason. It's just, and gang stalk me. It's just, but I guess because I post on social media, I don't know. Hey, I'm pretty happy. I'm like a hot guy, I'm pretty happy. I look good, when I'm showing off the fruits of my body. I'm not ashamed of my body, really. I'm pretty hot, so. I'm not gonna, I mean, I could find a woman who's 5'3" or 5'5", who's petite, who's grown up in the orphanage, and now she's in her mid-20s, and I mean, I'll live happily ever after with my orphan petite woman. I'll live happily ever after with the woman who grew up in the orphanage, and we'll and then the Hollywood movie will fade to black. Andrew will find true love, and somebody says, how do you think you're going to find a partner? Serious question. Well, like they say, every pot has a lid. Even disabled, schizoaffective, 37-year-old man children could find somebody. It's just that beggars can't be choosers. If I wanted to get like a 400-pound lady, I could get one. I'm just sitting in solitude. Like they say, love is out there, but you isolate, Andrew. To quote Gary Burr, thinking and wishing will come to you will kill you if you let it. Love is out there, but you got to go get it. Love is out there. Love is out there. So hide away day and night. Trust me, you'll regret it. Love is out there, but you gotta go get it. He says, okay, go get it. So he says, how did you find your previous partners? Some of them I met at internet dating sites. Some of them I met in mental health recovery groups. The answer to your question, though, is it depends. It depends on the person. Some people I met in the real world. Some people I met on the internet. You know, and you can meet people in a lot of different ways. Hell, you know, there's some women that express interest by watching me. So it says, how many past partners do you have? 4 women. I've had 4 girlfriends or romantic partners. 4 romantic partners. So he says, is the common denominator with all of them that you were on the mega regimen? Well, the first girlfriend who I got in 2012, I mean, I was on Risperdal at the time, but I wasn't on a mega regimen. I hadn't met Dr. Kaplan yet. Um, but yeah, after Dr. Kaplan, I started going, like, the medications just kept increasing and increasing and increasing. I think I met him in like August of 2012, and the rest is history. I was like, I was taking the whole pharmacy for years. I was overly medicated. So he says, and that's when you were the most healthy, Andrew. That's when you were the most healthy, if you say so. Taylor says, you need to be zonked by the whole pharmacy. You need to be chemically lobotomized. You need to be pharmacologically abused again, Andrew. Take your medication. Take your medication. Andrew. Taylor says, you are delusional and you need medication, Andrew. She says, don't put words in my mouth. You're putting words in my mouth, Andrew. All right, I apologize. Somebody says, at least you didn't get gynecomastia. That's like breasts from Risperdal. Yeah, I mean, let's see if I can find a picture of me when I was on Risperdal. Or Invega. I was on Invega, which is basically a derivative of Risperdal. Let's see if I can find a picture and see if I got breasts from it. Let's see. Let's go back. Oh, wow. 2017 is almost 10 years ago now. 2016 is almost 10 years ago now. Wow, my life is flying by, man. But it's okay. I'm still hot, but I'm old. I'm an old man now. All right. Let's go with this picture here. Yeah. No, that picture makes me look unattractive, but I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna go with the picture anyway. This is me on a mega regimen of medication. As you can see, I'm kind of chunky and fat, you know. And this is me. Somebody says, you look happier though. And this is me, obviously, just last year on hardly any medication. Just the Abilify 10 milligrams. So I look, I mean, obviously the weight flies right off. Somebody, and this is me in 20, I guess this would be 2013 on no medication. Let's see if I can find the photo here. Let's see if I can find, yeah, this is me. This is me on like no medication. But I wasn't running here. So I look psychotic here though. So maybe this. So yeah, I kind of look psychotic in this picture. So maybe this wasn't the best picture. Okay, let's go back. Yeah, speaking of which, let's go back to this. Let's go back to this. This is how I look, taking minimal medications, and this is how I want to look. Which, like this is the peak male physique here. Remember, you look like this, not like. Oh, let's go back to. You want to look like that, not like. Actually, this isn't a bad picture. This is like a better picture of me when I'm trying to kind of suck it in my belly a little bit. Mrs. Andrew, your brain is mush. Yeah, maybe. Maybe my brain is mush, guys. Maybe my brain. Maybe I've been rendered a vegetable mind. I mean, anybody want me to set up the DSLR and do some performances, or? Kyle says the reason you don't take meds is because it's the only thing you can independently control. But it's the one thing that could give you real independence in life. Somebody says, you say you're bored, but you could be lifting weights. No, trust me, I work out a lot. I run a lot. When I run for 20 minutes and I walk a lot. So I don't think physical fitness is my problem, really. I mean, I could get into my underpants and show you how I'm physically fit. You know, I mean, anybody want me to get into my underpants and show you how I'm physically fit? Nah, it's okay. I don't want. Taylor says no. Nobody wants to see you in your underpants. Kyle says absolutely not. All right. They don't want me to bring sexy back again. I already brought sexy back. That's a Justin Timberlake song. Somebody says, you do cardio, but you need to do more strength training, Andrew. So Kyle says, you say that your mom should have done an intervention to get you out of your room and off the internet. Probably. But, at the end of the day, it's your responsibility. It's kind of like somebody who's, using drugs. I'm not using drugs, but it's like a heroin addict. If somebody's just sitting in solitude using heroin all day long, should their parents probably do an intervention? Yeah. But, at the end of the day, it's the person's responsibility to kick the drug, not their parents. Somebody says, you're sick, Andrew. It's clear that you're not in the position to do it independently yourself. But somebody says, ultimately, it's your responsibility to intervene for yourself, not my parents' responsibility. Somebody says, you're fucking 37 years old. But, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, though, if a family member isn't, is sitting in solitude, posting on social media all day, every day, not socially engaging, should an intervention happen? Probably, but what are you going to do? I'm not complaining, or maybe I am. Maybe I am complaining. Somebody says it's your choice. and you refuse help. Kyle says, you complain all day, every day. Taylor says, you complain constantly. Hey, son, how art thou? How art thou, son? Somebody says, Andrew, if you deleted your channel right now, your life would get way better. Son says she's good. She just got home after a long day of work. I hope your workday went well, son. You know, Taylor says, when your parents got rid of the internet, you whined like a little baby and cried. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Maybe I like my addiction. Maybe I like my metaphorical heroin addiction. I'm not addicted to heroin. Let's clear the air there. Social media is like heroin to me. But maybe I like my metaphorical heroin addiction. You know what I mean? But somebody says if you gave up your metaphorical heroin addiction, your life would get way better. Probably. Somebody says you have to do it though, Andrew. Nobody's going to intervene on your behalf, and you know that. Stewie says, do not compare yourself to a heroin addict. Somebody says, you are a man child and you don't have a drug addiction. You just don't take your medication to help yourself. All right, Stewie, you don't have to get all worked up because I compared social media addiction to a heroin addiction. But, you know, also, you know, they do say social media is very addictive. It releases dopamine in your brain. So it is addictive. It's just not maybe it is chemically addictive, brain chemically. But I mean, there's not a chemical addiction. It's just a mental addiction, you know. Somebody says, people die from heroin, you insensitive asshole. All right, fair enough. But also, you know, maybe heroin is chemically addictive, where social media is just mentally addictive, but it's still addictive. You know, it's still addictive. Okay, maybe it's more like a video game addiction or an internet, you know, spicy content addiction. Or like a gambling addiction, although people lose a lot of money through gambling addiction. No, I think the psychopharmacologist agreed I had a social media and internet addiction. He said, "Oh, yeah, no, you definitely have a social media and internet addiction." And you know, he agreed with that, but still, it's my responsibility to give it up. It's my responsibility to save myself. Somebody says, sure, but it's not social media's fault. It's like blaming the casino for a gambling addiction. You know, it's kind of like, you know, it's like blaming the casino if somebody has a gambling addiction. It's like, yeah, I mean, maybe they shouldn't make it so tempting, but it's kind of like a gambling addiction because I'm hoping it pays off with riches and fame. I'm hoping it pays off with superstardom. So there's definitely a gambling addiction component here to a degree. Taylor says, you're wasting your life, bro. Jack says, he will save me. Thank you, Jack. Hopefully, if you save me by getting me a sexy girlfriend who wants to be like my mother. Hopefully, just not some like macho guy named Jack appears and tries to save me. Hopefully, you save me by getting me a girlfriend. Stewie says, "You need a man to save you, Andrew." No, I don't want a knight in shining armor, like a man showing up on a horse with a sword saying, "I'm here to save you, Andrew." I want like a fairy godmother to come here and say, "Andrew, I'm nurturing and I'm loving." I want a woman to save me. But they say, "You have to save yourself, Andrew. Nobody's coming to rescue you." Somebody says, "Some part of you must get off on people being mean to you online. Most gambling addicts need to win at least once." Well, I went viral in 2017 with the big, no, 2016 or 2017. I think it was 2017. I think it was July of 2017 with the Big and Small Mayonnaise video. And prior to that, in 2008, on internet forums, people were giving me, positive encouragement through my social media content. So I did get some positive feedback at times. So, somebody says gambling addicts have to win at least once. But yeah, I mean, I have the hope. I still have hope, that I'm going to be rich and famous from the social media content. I was watching something on TikTok and it said, uh, you know, they did an experiment with rats, and they let the rats swim, and they gave the rat some hope. Like the thought that it would be rescued, and the rat would swim itself to death if it thought it could be rescued and get riches and fame. I don't know what I'm fucking talking about. Yeah, I shouldn't have used this reference. Somebody says, "What I found out about you was the Mayo video in a podcast where they were calling you a cool dude. You were gambling to be made into a lol cow, Andrew. A laughing stock. They were laughing at you, not with you." All right, all right. Love is out there, but you got to go get it, to quote the great Gary Burr. Maybe I could go get some love. Where can I go to get some love? Taylor says, "Go get it." All right, where should I go? I'm going to go get some love right now. Where can I go to get some love? Somebody says, "Delete your channel and pour water on your computer. Love will come." Somebody says, "Take your computer and smash it and throw it in the ocean." Realistically, you're pouring your life down the drain. Social media is not your ticket to riches and fame. It's your ticket to wasting your life. Taylor says, go to the street corner, go to a doctor, go to Starbucks, go to the supermarket. You can meet ladies anywhere. Go on a bus, go on a train, go to the Fountain House, maybe go to a mental health recovery group. Go anywhere. Ladies are everywhere. It's like almost 50% of the population. What I'm doing is, I don't know what I'm doing, but it's not good. Even if you get rejected by like 95% of the women, there's still a 5% of the women that will want to date me. There's still Erie says, "No, you're going to get rejected by 99% of the women. There's still 1% that will want to date you." Okay, Erie. Fair enough. I was being a little confident here. I was being a little cocky. There's 1% of the women who will want to date me. Somebody says, "If you delete your channel, the 5% will become 25%. Jack asks, "Why do you need a girlfriend? There are plenty of people that will control your life for far cheaper." Well, because I'm interested in romance. I'm interested in a woman, not men. Taylor says, "You make a fool of yourself online, and you wonder why no one is dating you." That's true. That's true, Taylor. I remember there were women that actually expressed genuine interest in me. I mean, basically, for all intents and purposes, it seemed like I could potentially develop these ladies into a girlfriend. And this was just a few short years ago, like 2012, 2022, 2023, 2024. Then they discovered my social media and they mysteriously and shockingly lost interest. I'm like, oh, what's the problem? The problem is my social media looks like that of a serial killer, even though I'm not a serial killer and I'm a suave and cool guy. But in real life, they're like, oh, yeah, no, I'm interested in you. Then they discovered my social media and they lost interest. No, that really happened. That really happened a number of times, too, not just once, Erie. A number of times people were interested in me in the real world and they lost interest because of my social media. Somebody says, maybe take that as a sign. Erie says, right. Nobody's interested in you, Andrew. Nobody is interested in you. All right, Erie. Whatever you want to believe. Whatever you want to believe. I think I had potential to socialize and date some women, and my social media scared them the fuck away. That's what I think. It's raining out. It's raining out. I would go for a walk. Erie says, do I think you have potential, Andrew? She says, no, you do not have any potential, Andrew. What do you mean? Like potential for what? You don't think I even have potential to, I don't know. That's a very vague thing. You don't think I have potential for what? To succeed, or I mean, I have the potential to smash this thing on my head, and I just did. I mean, what does that mean? you know? Erie says, well, yes. Well, yes. Maybe I should go to, well, Patrick says, you don't have potential for anything, Andrew, because you have no desire to help yourself. Take the actions needed to improve your life, like socializing and taking the appropriate medications. Erie says, maybe I should, maybe I should, maybe I should, maybe I should. Stop saying maybe I should and do it! Stop saying maybe I should and do it! Patrick says, you won't. Ever. And nobody's coming to rescue you, Andrew. You're waiting for Godot. You're waiting for somebody who's never coming to rescue you. You have to go out there and take it and get it. Giant big letters says, fair enough, fair enough. Somebody says, you blame everyone except yourself. Blame yourself. Point your finger at yourself and take accountability. Fair enough, Patrick. Fair enough. Fair enough. Hey, Sauce. How you doing? Sauce says, it's very nice to be here. Thank you, Sauce. Patrick says, see, you aren't even taking this seriously. What do you want me to do? Just sign off social media, go to some coffee shop and try to flirt with a barista? Like what do you want me to do? Dead Cops says yes. Just go to some coffee shop and try to flirt with the baristas there. And Dead Cops says delete your channel. And Dead Cops says smash your computer. Son says, I'm really pulling for him and rooting for him, but it's hard to expect anything from him at this point. He only wants to do things that are fun, period. Somebody says, stream smashing your computer from your phone. Yeah, just get your phone and say, this is me smashing my computer. Maybe that will be my viral video that gives me riches and fame. You never know. You never know. Somebody says, going to a coffee shop and flirting with the baristas? That's just as bad as the internet. Okay, where can I go? Hey, I see you like to serve some coffee. Attractive barista. Want to date a 37-year-old, disabled, schizoaffective man-child who's getting taken care of by his mother? Yuri says you could accept and be happy with being single. That's something to take into consideration. Rusty asks, when was the last time you took the Abilify? Just last night. I've taken it compliantly for years. I've taken my medications compliantly for years now, or about over a year. 10 milligrams of Abilify. Somebody says not for a year maybe. Fair enough. About a year now. Somebody says the Abilify doesn't do much though. It does something, but not a lot. But you haven't taken the mood stabilizing medications. Sun says he's shown lately that he has the ability to control himself when he wants to. He stopped from texting on his stepfather's birthday. He has the ability. No, I'm compliant, Patrick. But they say meds aren't going to help you do something that's a result of brain damage. Yeah, I probably have neurological damage, Erie. Oh, no, I was compliant with the mega regimen of psychiatric medications from 2011, 2012 to November 2022. I was compliant with like a whole fucking pharmacy for 10 years. Took it every single day, never missed a dose. So that's bullshit to say I was non-compliant. It was just in November 2022, I came off all my meds, and in January 2023 and March of 2023, I was hospitalized and became non-compliant. So I was like completely compliant, more than anybody, for 10 fucking years with taking the whole pharmacy. Somebody says, and you were doing so much better in those 10 years. Somebody says, you aren't compliant currently. Well, I'm taking Abilify 10 milligrams, so. Somebody says, you were doing much better then. You were doing much better then. Take your mood stabilizing medications, they say. Hey, the weight flies right off if you're off your meds. Sexual function's better. You got clearer thinking. There's a lot of adverse side effects to these medications, guys. That can't be denied, but I hear what you're saying. Obviously, psychosis. Taylor says, nobody wants to be with you. Nobody wants to be around you. Nobody wants to engage with you. You're scary off your meds. Or on Abilify 10 milligrams. So he says, you are cruel to everyone and accuse everyone of nefarious intentions. So he says, stop being a lunatic, and take your medications, Andrew. Did you think somebody who has cancer wants to take his cancer medication? No. But it's something that needs to be medicated. So take your medications. Take your medications, So he says, people who have, they want to get better from cancer, so they take their medications. But do you think they really want to take cancer medications? No. And the same is true for, people who take medication for schizoaffective or schizophrenia. Do you think they really want to take the medications? No. but it helps them not be psychotic and stabilizes their moods. You know what I mean? Jelly bean. You know what I mean, jelly bean? Whoa. Erie says Abilify is like any antipsychotic. It's a neurotoxic substance that will cause brain damage over the course of the years. The question is, who the heck prescribed it to you? The psychopharmacologist. All right, guys. I think I'm going to get going here. I appreciate you for having watched me. Maybe I'll go somewhere and try to flirt with a lady. Maybe I'll go somewhere and try to flirt with a lady. Maybe I'll go to a coffee shop and try to flirt with an attractive barista. Patrick says, doubt it. You know, Patrick says, I dare you. I know, not dare, but I dare you to go there. I dare you to go there and try to flirt with a barista. Say, hey, how do you like working here? Most likely she'll reject me. And then you move on to the next one. Then you move on to the attractive waitress. And you say, hey, how do you like working here? And she'll reject me. And after you get comfortable with rejection, eventually you'll meet somebody. So he says, maybe I'm making a joke, but it's true too. So he says, meet a woman at a bar like a normal person. Don't harass women while working. I'm making a joke. I'm being silly. I'm being a little silly, guys. If you can't see that, well, I don't know. Somebody says, it's not a joke. You'll scare women away. All right, I was being a little silly. I hear you. I hear you. I'm not going to really flirt with an attractive barista. I mean, maybe I flirt a little bit, but I'm being performative here. Jack asks, will you ever consider speak singing Behind Blue Eyes by The Who? That's an interesting suggestion. Maybe I will. Erie says, the only way, you getting a lady would work is if you were super attractive. Patrick says, you need to be more serious, Andrew. You need to get more serious. Be serious about things. Somebody says, get a hobby outside of internet addiction and, spicy content addiction and posting videos. So he says, you need more than 2 interests. Go get a life. Go take life by the horns and make your life happen. Ooh. So, Patrick, if you were me, where would you go? And Son says, stop doing videos in your underwear. Stop creating spicy content. Patrick, if you were me, where would you go? So he says, go to the movies, the mall, the city, the park, anywhere. Go anywhere and do anything besides this. Yeah, right. Maybe I'll give my father a call and ask if he wants to meet at the shopping mall. Or maybe I won't go with my father. Maybe I'll go all by my lonesome. Erie says, would somebody who... forget it. So he says, go to a social clubhouse. Go to events. You can meet a girlfriend there, man. You can meet a girlfriend there. Go out there. I mean, you complain about being an involuntarily celibate. Love is out there, but you got to go get it. Thinking and wishing it will come to you will kill you if you let it. The love will just go find someone else. Somebody says, try to go back to the Fountain House if you are in band. People don't hate you there. Just go back to the fucking Fountain House. Maybe I'll reach out to the social worker who was working with me and say, hey, would it be okay if he stopped I texted him a lot. and he kind of stopped communicating with me. But maybe I could say, hey, would it be okay if I stopped into the Fountain House again? Maybe he would say yes. I don't know. Hey, would anybody have a problem with that? If so, maybe I won't. I mean, I got lunch with him. Somebody says it could happen again. I could text the guy from the Fountain House. I was on good terms with him. We used to get lunch often. I could say, hey, dude, would it be all right if I came back? Somebody says, promise them you won't text anymore. Or if you do, it will be just business and appropriate. Like all business. You won't spam text them. Somebody says, what happened at the Fountain House? Nothing really happened. I just got OCD and obsessive with text messaging. I was spam texting people. Somebody says, you really can't be around people currently. You think everything is... Somebody says he was spam texting everyone constantly. Andrew Nefari. Patrick, I don't want to get into details, but I was spam texting a lot of people. Pat, I don't want to get into details. Somebody says, and stop being suspicious of people. Some people genuinely aren't wearing a mask. They have good intentions. And that's enough of this. Let's go. Make my life happen. I've sat in solitary confinement for the past 3 years. It's time to come back with determination. It's time to sit up off the couch and the computer chair and come back with determination and come back with a vengeance and make my life happen. I can do it. It's time to do it. It's time to make my life happen. All right, my impatience. Patrick says, I'll believe it when I see it. I ain't holding my breath. You'll be back here in a couple of hours and the next day and the day after and the day after that. Somebody says, start small, dude. Even the smallest thing could be life-changing for you. Stop wasting your life on internet and get some real hobbies. Okay, guys. Peace out. Peace out, my impatience. Peace out. See you later, guys.